Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
Hey. Welcome to Thirsty Thursday Live with Cape May Brewing Company and also some friends of ours from up the road a piece, as they say here in New Jersey. We got Brian and Eli from Tonewood Brewing Company. Woo! Down to the left square, we have Evan, one of the sales managers at CNBC. And down to the lower right, the most frequent guest in the history of South Jersey beer scene, passing Fun Bobby, and Brian Hink. Brian is, how you doing, guys? Good to have you here for another edition of the Thursday. We have a cool one because, you know, in the midst of all the pandemic talk and Christmas and all that, a surprise came in my email, I guess a couple weeks back, that you guys were in cahoots. And that's what it says on the can. So we're here to talk about two versions of me, which is this awesome West Coast IPA that you guys produced together. So let's get to the meat of this. How did this happen? Let's start with whomever wants to jump in.
I guess I'll jump in. I guess the short version is I reached out to Eli and Ryan. I said, hey, we should make a beer together. It'd be fun. I guess the longer version is Eli and I have sort of known each other we played hockey growing up together, against each other, with each other for a year, and kind of, distance as we got older, moved to different paths in life. And my mom saw an article, I guess, was it about a year before you guys opened, Eli? 6 months?
Yeah, it's probably
like, hey, do you remember Eli you played hockey with? He's opening a brewery in Oak Lynn. So I was like, no way, that's crazy. I'm going to swing by just to say what's up. So that was back in, I guess they were putting the drains in almost, 5-6 years ago. And
it was probably this time of year, 5 years ago. Yep.
Yeah. And then I just started kind of becoming friendly with Ryan, Jake, and hanging out all the time. I'm a Cherry Hill guy. I'm from Cherry Hill originally. My parents still live there. So I just kind of became friends with everyone at Tonewood, and that's kind of the long version, I guess.
I'd say you've been one of our spirit guides through the Jersey brewing and beer scene.
Yeah, when I'm out doing my own stuff, I'm drinking Tonewood,
Checking in on us, making sure we're not doing anything stupid.
We haven't gone afoul.
So people aren't going to like what I say here, but as the beer scene has evolved here in South Jersey and Jersey in general, and Philly area, we have a lot of great breweries. But more often than not, when they make a list of breweries that people need to go to, Tonewood and Cape May are always on that list. I mean, you have a lot of outliers, but Tonewood and Cape May are always on that list. And it's a testament to the styles that you guys do and how good your beer is. So I guess a collaboration was kind of a natural thing here with that kind of thing. So I'm stuttering and slurring my words because I've had a little bit of this piney goodness in here, which probably was not, I shouldn't have done before show, but anyway.
Good thing.
So you guys have a mutual respect for each other. So I'm sure that was part of it. So what's the first thing that you do with a collaboration? So how does it work? And I know it's a little bit different because of COVID right now.
You struggled to get everyone on a call together.
Yeah. It's a lot of phone tag and a lot of whisper down the lane, right?
Yeah.
We go way back, just like brewery to brewery. Obviously, like Evan was saying, he and Eli go back to childhood hockey. I remember first meeting Eli and the guys going down to Nashville for CBC back in 2018. And February of almost a year ago now, right before COVID, back in the before times, the whole production crew went out for a day, and we reached out to Eli. And we're like, "Yeah, Eli, we're out for the day. We're gonna stop by. Like, you guys don't open till 3. Can we stop by beforehand?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, stop on by." And he's like, rolled out the red carpet, and the whole crew was there, and it was like the most fun we've ever had as a crew, and it was awesome, and a gracious host. And of course, you're shooting the shit, and you're talking about beers, and like, oh, was this style, was that style, and then. Once we started talking, kind of thinking about who we would collab with going into, this year and who we wanted to focus on working with, and Tone was the absolute no-brainer. We've got the utmost respect for Tonewood, and the beers are crushing out there. And I think Evan said it either already here or backstage, I'm not sure, but if he's not drinking Cape May beer, he's drinking Tonewood beer. And the same with me. Like if I go to the liquor store, I'm buying Fuego, I'm buying Feshies, I'm buying Improv. I love everything these guys put out. My other beer in front of me is their Schwartz beer. I love this beer. It's one of my favorite beers of all time.
Same, yeah.
As a beer fan, I couldn't have been happier to work with Tonewood. I just love these guys.
And so when you guys get together, so now I guess there's Zoom calls going on. And I guess one of the things that you do with a collaboration is that you guys get together with a recipe. I guess you started that in the fall, and then you want to brew together. But unfortunately, I guess in times that we live in, it's kind of hard to do that. So tell us a little bit about that process. You guys brewed it at CNBC, and it's a collaboration in spirit and mind and direction. Maybe not sweat, but I mean, all the rest of the stuff came together. So you guys are brewing this beer. Why a West Coast IPA? What was the reasoning behind a West Coast IPA? Why did you go there?
I mean, we're talking, spitballing ideas. Oh, we could do this, we could do that. We're talking about lager. We love to do some kind of lager beer. We love lagers. Tonewood kills the lager game. They're definitely really carrying that flag for the Jersey craft beer scene. And we just wanted to do something that would we be excited about and would sell well and would, get people excited, and really got to check a lot of boxes. And so, IPA's still king of the castle. And, we definitely, both breweries, we dabble in all the different styles of IPAs, and nobody really does West Coast IPAs much anymore. And so we just thought it'd be fun to, go old school with it. Eli got his brewing started out in Colorado.
Here again.
Yeah, clear, man. You can see through it. It's crazy.
It's like you mentioned, Eli, you started brewing out in Colorado, and then a Gary Hink. I wonder if that's any relation to anybody on the show.
You might know that
He's
guy.
calling it. He's in from Denver, saying Neo West Coast style IPAs. Very vocal fans out there.
Tell them to send me some Tempter from Player Brewing. I miss that beer.
So we got a West Coast IPA. So you guys all brew a lot of different types of beer. I mean, you guys run the gamut from your stouts and your specialty beers, and you have your core beers and the like. What is the market like? And I know this is kind of getting nerdy. What is the market like at this point? Has it changed over from the hazies? Are we seeing any kind of movement? I'm hearing people are telling me, during this, look, you guys, it's a no. I know it's a no.
I actually, that's funny. I think
I got sales guys here. What do you guys think?
I think you're starting, and Eli and Brian, we were talking yesterday. Yeah. Things always kind of come full circle. I think that slowly people are starting not to tire of hazy beers, but realize there's other things out there, and lagers, pilsners, stouts, but also that IPAs used to be clear,
yeah,
used to be different. It's kind of like what is responsible for craft beer and what it is now. I think things are coming full circle. I think buyers, a lot of liquor stores are starting to say, hey, what do you have other than a hazy IPA? So I think things are slowly starting to kind of come around. Ryan, what do you?
Yeah, I mean, our best seller is Fuego, so it's tough for me to say that the hazy is not,
King,
not
sure.
still holding control for us. But Brian pointed out that he's drinking a Schwartz beer, which we make. So, I mean, we definitely have been carrying that flag of styles that are not just hazy IPAs. But I think that if you're looking strictly at market buying power or, selling power on our end, the hazies still kind of hold a lot of sway. But it is nice to always have something else. That's one of the questions I think Evan and I get the most when we're out in the world is, one, what do you have that's new? And two, exactly. What else do you have? So when we can kind of go into our bag of tricks and pull something out that still has the cachet of an IPA, but isn't just the same thing that we have, week in and week out, it is nice. So I'm excited to see how this does. It's getting out into the market this week and next week, and I'll be excited to see it on the shelves and to see how the pull through looks with this. I have a feeling it's going to go pretty well, personally.
Yeah, I've had a lot of big pre-orders, big pre-orders.
Yeah, I think it's going to kill. And there's a couple things. Let's talk about the packaging. Let's talk about two versions of me. Why two versions of me? This is a really cool can. And what I like, and this is one of the things I like about what you guys do, the amount of information that you guys have on a label is like, it's like reading the toothpaste tube when you're in the bathroom, the shampoo bottle. But the amount of information that you have on this can is awesome. There is not a space in here that doesn't have some information about what's going on. And the labeling is amazing. So tell us a little bit about this concept, where it came from, and how you guys work together on it.
So we're trying to obviously come up with a beer, and first thing you decide to collab, we're going to make a beer together, and what are we going to do? Spitball ideas, come up with, we're going to do an IPA, and then we got to come up with a name for it. And we were spitballing a bunch of ideas internally. I know Eli and the guys were, come up with some stuff too. And, these guys, they do tons of musical references. Fuego is a Fish song, and, improv, and, Dreadnought, and Tonewood itself, the wood you would use to build a guitar. You might be able to see guitars and bass behind you over here. Like, I love music. Music's as important to me as beer is. And so I love that about these guys. They always go for the musical influence. So I wanted to make sure we chose something that would honor that aspect from the Tonewood guys and that whole crew over there. And, so we're kind of coming up with names and suggesting stuff. And then we have one of our guys on the marketing team, Scott. He's our blog and content manager. And he's a huge Fish fan, and I hate Fish. And he and I go back.
Not a fan.
You didn't tell me that, Brian. Come on. Oh.
There's a couple Fish fans at Tonewood.
And I was like, Scott, these guys are they're huge Fish fans. Like, they got, Fuego and a couple other songs I think are Fish references. And I was like, Scott, you got to come up with, they have to have a name that could really kind of tie both the breweries together. And he threw out 2 versions of me, and I was like, that's beautiful, because we did this one. We're talking about maybe doing a beer up in Tonewood, hopefully in the springtime. And we're like, 2 versions of me, great, cool. Like, it can work for both breweries. Kind of speaks to it's a collab. There's always another side of things. And all right, cool, name decided, check. And then we passed it off. Then we got the design crew into the conversation. And, once the name is decided as 2 versions of me, there's, the mirror image. There's that aspect to it. So John.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that mirror, that butterfly. It's kind of hard to see here, but that butterfly effect that you have on there.
Which is, it's just state of New Jersey mirrored against itself. And that was Tonewood's graphic designer, John Falco, he's awesome, super cool dude. I was glad I got a chance to meet him and chat with him and work over some stuff with him and our marketing team. And that was what he brought to the table, and was like, hey, I was kind of riffing off of this, the mirror image thing. And we loved it. We passed it off to our design team over at Canales & Co. And they came back with this on a really like rough sketch of it. And it was like total 70s, like old poster vibe. And we were all just like, home run, go for it. And then they came out with the finished product, and we were all just blown away by it.
I think I got the email of the final proof when I was with Ryan, and I ran into each other. I think we were at Wineworks.
Yeah, we were at Wineworks on 70.
Yeah, it was kind of serendipitous.
What's cool is I can see this beer being released at either of your breweries and it fitting right in with your line. You know what I mean? Like your specialty cans that you guys have been releasing with the funky labels that Cape May's been doing on Saturdays, and your regular line of stuff that you guys do there. It kind of I could see it sitting on both of your shelves and both of your your breweries.
I agree with you completely. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a really cool thing. So now we're going to talk about the liquid in the can.
Real quick about the can, I've got a quick question for Brian, just because I heard this as a rumor. Is there a blacklight feature to this can?
There is. We on our Instagram last night, I think it was. It may have been in the story, so I don't know if it's still available. But Courtney, our graphic design work, and she does all of our social media accounts. And she took a couple of videos of it and some shots of it under a blacklight, and it looks super cool. It's total back like the Electric Factory back in the day, where like the greens and the oranges coming through, and totally cool vibe on it.
Kool-Aid acid.
Very cool. and that's what I love about craft beer. I mean, we talk about the big guys. These guys are putting beers in cans. The amount of stuff that goes. Mark Graves says that's a good rumor. The amount of the amount of thought that goes into even the artwork on a can is absolutely amazing to me. And I mean, that's what separates craft beer from, I'm not knocking any beer but that's what separates craft beer. It makes it so amazing. The story on a can, you could talk about this for 45 minutes and really get, and see the hard work that went in here, that you just weren't pouring in someone aluminum saying, okay, that name hasn't been taken, roll the sleeve and let's get on the thing. Cause it's going to sell because it's Tonewood and Cape May. To put all this extra effort in here, it's really speaks to both of your companies and how much you care about your consumers.
I think a lot of fun. I think both design teams had a lot of fun designing the can, from what I understand.
No,
really awesome.
Seriously, hats off to the Cape May marketing and the back ends people there, because you guys really, super professional crew, and it was nice to see how you guys do everything over there and kind of, aspire to, get our shit together like that someday.
It's funny. I'm kind of privy to a lot of the can process and like what goes into a label, but it was nice to see this like upfront and like how much actually goes into label approval, like name search. It's a lot that goes into it that most people wouldn't understand. That just for
everybody loves the TTB. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
So the liquid. Let's touch on the liquid in the bottle.
Yeah,
there it is. Oh, there it is. That is cool.
Yeah, Courtney just sent that over. So yeah, like look at that. That's super cool. Like total like back at the factory and love it. It's awesome. It's just fun.
That is just like to the nth degree of doing something. And this is the first I'm hearing of it. I mean, that is really, really awesome. So good job by you guys.
Our when the labels got dropped off the other day, our rep from ModTech, Scott, he's awesome. If Scott's watching, hey man, I know probably you guys use ModTech a lot, and he just was like, oh, by the way, we put a blacklight label on it, and I don't know if our marketing team knew that was going on there or not, but we love it. Like it just.
You just snuck it in.
Yeah, we had this extra stuff laying around. We just figured we'd give it to you. That's kind of cool. Good job, Eli. Up at Tonewood, you got some. Ryan chime in too. You got some little bit of construction going on up there. So tell us a little bit about your big plans that's going up there in Oakland, or first of all, are both is it still all going to be in Oakland, or did we?
It's about 3 miles down the road in Barrington.
Okay.
Up here, it's like I call it the greater Haddon Valley, because it's like all these little towns, like
hamlets of towns. Yeah,
a half a mile, you're in 4 different towns, but so still super local, still right in the area, but we're in the process of building out a new production and retail facility.
And you're one of the first breweries in the state, I think, to actually have 2 separate locations.
Yeah, I think
that's what they're calling it.
Yeah, if construction doesn't get held up anymore, we will be. But
welcome to New Jersey.
So,
and for those of you who haven't been to Tonewood's Tap Room, I mean, everybody knows Cape May's Tap Room is awesome. Tonewood's Tap Room is really cool. It's a nice open space. It's rustic. There's plenty of room. And in regular times, there's a nice outside piece. It's in a good place where you can just kind of hang out. The Tonewood people, as are the Cape May people, are really chill. It's just a nice place to just sit down, shoot the shit, and have a couple beers. There's a couple little restaurants around there. It's a really, really nice spot. So if you are a Cape May fan, get up to Tonewood and see what's going on there, because we're on your channel, so we're gonna do it that way. 2 versions of me
on the building. Evan and I, we got a chance to see it yesterday when we dropped off the beer, and it's going to be amazing. Tons of space. As a brewer working on the production side of things, I think it's going to be a really thoughtful layout. I think Eli and his whole gang, they designed an awesome space, and I can't wait to see it finished. I was glad I got to see it like in that like halfway through state.
Yeah.
And I hope to be back in a few months and see a little bit more progress. And man, you guys are doing
cool. Things are coming together. It's a little sneak peek of the. I can't do this. It's like
whatever. 5,000 feet of production space.
How many barrels are you guys looking to put out? What's your capacity going to change to? Where are you at now? Where is it going to change?
So right now we're at like a little over 6,000, and this will double us around 10 to 12,000. And
just for comparison, Brian, where are you guys at? Just for comparison,
we're capacity at we're about 54,000 total. We're undertaking a current expansion, and that'll put us up around 54,000 barrels total capacity. This year we did around 34,000 barrels, give or take. Evan might comment on that more than I, but so we got a little bigger space, and then we're essentially maxing it out with this capacity expansion. So
I just want to mention too that if you look up on the screen, if you're looking to get your hands on 2 versions of me, distribution begins Monday, the 25th, but available tomorrow, 121 at noon, in the Tasting Room Boutique down there in CNBC, down at the airport, off of off the Parkway down there. Everybody knows where CNBC is. So if you want to get your hands on it tomorrow, It's going to be there at noon at the Boutique. And let me tell you, I know that I'm hosting the show and these guys are my boys and we do this every month, but I'm so impressed by this beer.
Yeah.
It is everything that you want to have in a West Coast IPA. I mean, from the nose to the mouthfeel to the finish, it is amazing. It's piney. It's got that resiny. It's got the grapefruit. It's got everything in it that you're supposed to have in a West Coast IPA. And everybody really needs to go out and get this. I mean, it is really well done. One of the things that we talk about is, everybody's putting out these 1 million IPAs with, 72,000 pounds of hops in it and stuff like that. This is how beer is meant to be drank. I mean, there's no hop burn. I mean, you actually get the nuances of the beer like you're supposed to without not being able to taste anything for the next 2 hours. So good job by you guys. I mean, it really is well done.
And I love all beer. Like I'm not, anytime I'm talking about this beer specifically, the Throwback, the classic, the beer yesteryear, the more approachable. Like we dabble in everything. We have we have a couple of crazy funky beers coming up in the next month that we'll be releasing. Some really out there shit. And as a beer drinker, like this is what I want to drink, and I know Eli and the guys up there that we want to drink beers that we want to drink, and we just pound them back all day and crush. And that's these West Coast. And it's balanced, it's bitter, it's piney, resinous. It's got all those nice nuances, as you said there.
I still think it's a modern beer, though. It's not like
Oh no, definitely. I mean,
it's soft. It's not like. It's not. I wouldn't call it bitter. It's kind of this very nice floral hop character to it, and there's no turbidity to get in the way of that bright citrus and melon. It's nice to have a beer like this, and
it's very clean too, which is nice. Like malt sweetness.
it is. I mean, you can see through it, which is amazing.
Yeah, I think it's like. You've made these New England style IPAs and you've learned a lot on that. And there's definitely, you can tell that there's some things you learn in making those beers that carry through for this beer here that I think can only elevate this style,
It's a shame. I think one of the things that we all fight against, especially you two sales guys, is the what's new that I haven't had anymore. What's on the shelf that I hadn't had. And during these times of COVID, everybody's throwing things in cans. So there's like a bazillion selections on that shelf and where you're going to spend your dollar. I implore you to not walk by these styles that you're walking by and give them a shot. I mean, that hazy IPA, and they're great. I love all beer, and I do. But give these styles a shot. I mean, this is going to sell because it's going to have Cape May and Tonewood's name on it. But there are other beers that are out there. Give it a shot. Try something different. I mean, there's more than life than a hazy IPA. And everybody's fighting for that space. We want to support local first, but try something different. Keep the Fuego in your fridge. Keep the Cape May IPA in your fridge. And then you see something different coming out from these guys, give it a shot. Because it'll broaden your horizons.
Yeah, that's what's fun about beer, John. It's when I got into craft beer, is you tried. There were so many different things, different styles to try. You weren't necessarily focused or beholden to one style. So I think that's kind of the unique thing about craft beer is there's so many things, so many styles to try. I just want to give a shout out to Julian. I just saw Julian pop on. Yeah. Ryan saw him too.
What's up, Evan, Ryan, and Eli? There's Julian was out there watching. So, Eli, if we want to find out more about Tonewood, where would we go? What will we do? Maybe Ryan, whoever wants to chime in on this, tell us how we can find out what's going on at Tonewood.
As far as information about what's going on, it's a little bit behind the curtain. We're like the Wizard of Oz that way right now. Our website has been kind of revamped when COVID hit to be an online storefront for us. So there's not a whole lot of information outside of what's available through our tasting room for pickup or takeout. But as far as the information, I mean,
our Instagram and Facebook is how we kind of communicate with our customer base.
Is our best
at the moment.
Best means of communication. So follow us on Instagram. It's at Tonewood Brewing. Facebook is the very same. we had to pivot our website away from some of that information content just to have the ability to weather everything that's going on out there with the changes that are taking place because of the virus. So sorry that we don't have a ton of information on the website, but
we will.
But here's the thing: you can go in any liquor store.
We'll get our shit together.
I know a guy who can help you. You can go in every liquor store. You can go anywhere you want and ask for Tonewood and Cape May by name. If they don't have it, well, first of all, if they don't have it, they're idiots. Secondly, if they don't have it, they'll go out and get it for you. I mean, you have two of the biggest names in beer on the East Coast right now, sitting right here on your television screen. So, Cape May Brewing Company asks of our guests, speaking of music and beer, what is your go-to band or album to listen to while sipping on a delicious brew like two versions of me? Let's go to Evan first.
Oh gosh, putting me on the spot here.
Cape May Brewing Company's putting you on the spot, bro.
Courtney, was that Courtney who did that?
It's a mystery.
You know,
I've got one.
I'm a big home cook. I do all the cooking in my household. So if I when I'm cooking, I'm always listening to music, and I always want something a little bit more mellow, relaxed, kind of take me down from a day of interacting with people in sales. I'm a big fan of, I don't know if many people heard of Sun Kill Moon. Mark Kozalek used to be in Red House Painters back in the 90s. That would be kind of my go-to. Sun Kill Moon. It's a reference to, I believe it's Sun Kim Moon, a famous Korean boxer. But check it out.
Some Young Koo.
Some Young Koo. Yeah.
He's the guy. Yeah, he died. Yeah.
How about Sun Kill Moon? Check him out. That's what I'd be listening to.
Awesome. How about Tonewood Crew?
So right now, I'm really into this guy, Billy Strings, bluegrass.
Were you playing that last night?
Probably.
Yeah.
He usually gets a spin like daily.
There was some bluegrass last night.
Yeah, Billy Strings. Also, I know like I was kind of behind the ball on this, but Mac Miller. It's weird.
I thought you were going to say that one.
I never thought I would be into it ever. Like it's totally not like something I would listen to, but I'm kind of hooked on that the Circles album. Yeah, I don't know.
It's genuine. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great album. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'm
so
a nerd too.
That's what I've been like spinning pretty regularly for a little while.
I always find myself falling back on the Decemberists. I'm a big the Crane Wife.
There you go.
Album. So,
Good one.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Hink.
Right now, I mean, there's no more live music, which is heartbreaking.
It is.
We're on Drugs just put out a live album back in November. So We're on Drugs, or Live Drugs, they call it.
I love them. Yeah.
Fucking fire. Love that album. And then other than that, the Budos Band, I just can't stop listening to them. Long in the Tooth came out like 2 months ago, I think. The Budos Band are just absolutely amazing. Especially like I don't brew much anymore. Every once in a while I get to jump up in the brew house. And if I'm brewing, I'm probably throwing on Budos Band. Good brewing music.
Yeah,
Band. So I'm a Wilco guy, but I hate fish. It doesn't make any sense, does it? So I love Wilco. I can listen to Wilco and Jeff Tweedy 24/7. And now I'm going to get a little out there. That freaking Hamilton soundtrack.
That's great.
It is unbelievable. My wife thinks there's something wrong with me because I probably watched the movie 600 times, but it's catchy. I know it's ridiculous.
It's close to 3 hours.
I'm sure of it.
It's like watching The Godfather.
It's amazing. It's amazing. But I mean, I always, my go-to is always going back to Wilco. I mean, I love the Budos Band. there's so many bands that I like. I'm the guy who listens to an independent radio station from Seattle because I still think I'm hip and I'm 54. Like, that's who I am. But I mean, it always comes back to Wilco, and it comes back to those songs that we grew up with, and drinking a beer. Any music gets better when you drink a beer. So it is really cool. So that's a cool take on things. No country, though, guys. No country for this guy right here. So, and Courtney agrees that Hamilton is the best, winning.
John, that was a good question.
That was Courtney. That was Cape May Brewing Company. So good job. Yeah. Before we go, Brian, what's going on at Brian or Evan? Tell us what's going on at CMBC. What do you got coming up in the next couple weeks that you can talk about? Because I know you guys are very secretive. You got lots of secret stuff going on.
I think we're posting a blog about it tomorrow or some of these days, one of these days, but it'll be coming out probably really soon. But we have a new seasonal release coming out in like 2 weeks, week and a half. It is a chocolate covered strawberry milkshake IPA because
why not?
Yeah. So that'll be a fun one. And then we got a couple other good seasonals coming back. A lot of returning favorites coming out. And as we hit to the spring, we got the Bog. We're Crushing It coming back. So, you see them on liquor store shelves soon enough.
Key lime corrosion.
Key lime corrosion's definitely, that was like a small only fan favorite. And we loved it. So we decided to go wholesale with it. So that'll be going out to the market middle of February. And we just got a lot of fun stuff on the horizon. I think February, which is such a slow month, it's weird, but we have like 3 or 4 really big, large-scale releases there going. And good luck selling all of it because we got a lot of stuff coming out. But people love variety. They love all the new stuff that's out there. And
don't worry, we've got Groundhog's Day coming up. It's a big holiday.
I know we're running a little short on time, but how I know that without your supporters and without your customers, you guys couldn't be making beer. I mean, it's been amazing the support that we've seen from the local community. There's been a few Facebook groups that popped up. I know Brian Kiefer does that South Jersey Brewery Madness thing that spreads everything all over New Jersey. Kind of makes us irrelevant at this point on Facebook because he's got everything there. But Brian does such a great job. How has it been as owners to see, and as people that work for breweries, to see the support that you guys are getting from South Jersey? What would you want to say to those people that are watching out here right now that have kept the beer flowing?
We love you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing though, isn't it? As an owner, as somebody that's been working in the business and sales guys, it's amazing to me the support that you guys have, the almost cult-like support of craft beer in South Jersey. I know it hasn't been perfect. And I know a lot of people are struggling, but it's kudos to those people and how much you mean to them. So from us here, I think that's a great thing. And I know you guys appreciate all that.
Yeah, John, I'll chime in real quick and say it's been kind of crazy. I've been in beer sales, we'll call it about 6-7 years now. And, when I first got into sales for beer, it was like 2 breweries in New Jersey. It was really in our area specifically, Flying Fish and River Horse. And it's kind of crazy to see where the market has gone now. And, I don't live anywhere else, obviously, but the obsession with local beer in New Jersey, kind of in this area, I think kind of peaks everyone else. And no one really has like this obsession we have with our local brands. I live in Pennsylvania. There's not as much obsession out here like we see in South Jersey. It's a little bit different.
We're fierce. South Jersey, New Jersey people are fierce. They'll defend their territory and go and say, hey, this is my local team. I kind of equate it like soccer in England. You have all these soccer teams in these little neighborhoods with these giant stadiums. It's kind of the same with craft beer. I know of no other product like it that has such fierce loyalty from the little towns that are around it. It's truly is amazing. That's
a very good comparison.
Yeah.
Even for our stuff, like for what we do, even though there's not much going on, we have such great support in the community, and it's amazing, and we truly appreciate all that. So thank you, everybody. And on behalf of everybody here, thank you for all the support you've given us. So it's time to go, guys. It was a quick 32 minutes.
But 30 minutes? Wow.
Yeah, it goes quickly. So thanks to Eli and Ryan for coming on the Cape May show here. Brian, thanks as always. And Evan, it was great seeing you here tonight. So we'll see you in a month. We'll do another Thirsty Thursday, and we'll talk about all the stuff that Brian is sitting on right now that he knows that he's not telling us. We'll talk about that when it comes up again. So cheers, everybody. Get out there and get 2 versions of me available at the Boutique tomorrow, starting at noon, for distribution out on Monday. If you don't see it, tell the guys at the liquor stores you want it. Cheers, guys. Have a great night.
Peace, guys.
Yeah.